So the first time I got on stage and did comedy was actually second grade, 1992. Back in 1992. First time on stage, a second grade talent show. And, well, it wasn't a stage, this was a classroom. And the first graders were sitting on the floor in front of me on carpet squares. The second graders, my class, sitting on the floor behind me. Again, on carpet squares. That was our thing. I guess like some carpet salesman gave samples or something. Maybe one of the teachers dated a carpet guy. I don't know. Somehow we just had these things. We sat on them for story time and whatnot. So talent show. I still remember what some of the other people did. But I put on a suit. I don't know how in second grade I even knew what stand-up comedy was. I don't know what compelled me to wear a suit. That was just, I guess, my conception. Maybe I saw a little bit late night. I know I saw my parents like watching some comedy at some point. Maybe I saw them watching like Steve Martin. Maybe even Seinfeld. Well, my mom's favorite comedian is Gallagher. He definitely doesn't wear suits. My dad's favorite is Steve Martin. So those are, I guess, some early influences. I had some good jokes lined up. I remember planning out in my head what I was going to say. I didn't write anything out. I didn't really understand like the craft preparation at that point. So the day comes, I'm ready to go right before I go on stage. My teacher comes over, we'll just call her Miss D. She tells me no toilet humor. Remember, no toilet humor. Now, even for a pro, that's gonna throw you off a little bit. If right as you're going on stage, they give you this like last minute, like, oh yeah, like half your act isn't gonna be acceptable. You know, that's a little bit of a curveball. I had a really good bit about farting during silent reading time. And anyway, so I went on stage. First ever joke was about ugly people. And it was like, have you ever just been walking down the sidewalk and seen someone so ugly that it almost knocks you off of your feet? And then it's like an act out. You see me like, whoa, and I kind of like stumbled over. Got a good laugh. It went over. So, all right. And then I froze up. And that's still, so if I ever get lost, that's where it happens, is after a laugh. I sort of like bask in that moment. And then like now I'm a lot better. I can refocus myself. But that's where I get a little jumbled and I have to really stop and go, okay, what's next? It took a long time to get to that where I was comfortable and could think of what's the next thing. But so I froze. I got my laugh and then I'm lost. I didn't write anything down. Sometimes you have your little cheat sheet in your pocket or somewhere that you can go to, or I've seen people write on their hands. You keep it somewhere, but I had nothing. I'm lost. But the second thing was the joke about farting during silent reading time. So I am like, I don't know what to do. So I just started cranking out armpit farts, which was like the punchline to the joke about farting during silent reading time. But like, I didn't set it up. I didn't explain what was going on. I just went straight to the farts, which was verboten. So the teacher, she comes and lifts me up and carries me off. But like in midair, as she's carrying me, I still got in like one last armpit fart. And was like a huge applause. I mean, as close to a standing ovation as I think you could get in the setting. I loved it. So that was my first time on stage. Yeah, so long ago. And I don't know. I really think it was like I must have been watching my parents watch TV and then seeing stand-up comedy and then just wanting to do that. um I don't know, but I went from 92 up to, it was like 2004. I was in college uh before I got on stage again, 2003 or 2004 summer, uh in Chicago. Found a place and then just started doing that like every Monday, going to what was that place called? It was called something, and then it was changed to the Mix on like 2800 Halstead or 2400 Halstead, somewhere up there, north side of Chicago. And that was just the one place I knew, so I go all the way there every Monday, and then just do that. So it was like once a week and just in the summer. But that was something. I got to go and see some really out of that place, or like several comedians that you see around. Like Kumail Nanjiani was at that mic regularly. TJ Miller was there. A bunch of others too who were darn good that you've never heard of. But some really darn good comedians are like such just like a good breeding ground for stand-up. And just a huge list. There'd be 80 or 90 people going on 3-minute bucket mic. And I just stayed and watched everybody because I came all the way there. So I wasn't going to like miss out. I want to like see other people and see what they were doing. But anyway, that's a little bit of how my first performances in comedy. So yeah, like that was my first audition when I came to New York. Was for Monster Jam. They needed the guy who like goes down with the microphone and interviews the guys after they do the monster truck jumps. So I auditioned for that, and so actually first year I got nowhere. I went like right home. I came back though the next year and I made it pretty far in the end, but it's weird. Like when you audition, it's like the entire day. So they give you like a 1-page script to read. So I'm practicing, and I think that's probably what they saw that maybe impressed them. Was they're like, okay, everyone else is like fiddling around on their phones, like this kid's like reading a book on improv, and then when he's not doing that, he's in front of the mirror reading the lines over and over again. And like I think they saw that and they're like, okay, that's something. So I'm rehearsing in front of the mirror for like the longest time, and they tell us like, okay, there's a couple of the names that are a little tricky, like some of the names of the guys, and so it's like, okay, we're just gonna make sure you get those right. Like they told you how to pronounce their name, so like make sure you remember that, make sure you get their name. So I'm like practicing over and over again, and the first line it starts with BKT Tire is the official tire of Monster Jam. And I had to slow down with it there. That's the part that tripped me up. So I get in front of this group. I'm all confident. I'm wearing like a full suit. Been practicing all day. So I stand up there. I take a deep breath. BKT Tire. And then I just started laughing hysterically. Because that's what I said the exact first time, and then I wrote the whole joke for stand-up of like, oh, that would be so funny if I said that. And then that was how it came out, But then they gave me advice. she was like, okay, you need to like calm down, like take some deep breaths. And I actually did. I took the deep breaths. I felt it. She goes, you feel better? I go, yeah. I didn't take any of it personal. I mean, most people would have been probably insulted by that, but I just took the instruction. I'm like, I did terrible. I'm open to pointers. And then did everything they said. And then that was how I advanced through that. Just kind of lucky and hard work. And I think teaching probably helped me a lot because I've like read in front of people a lot. And there's just something about that helps. Most people don't do that. But I think just hours and hours, years of doing that, reading the announcements to kids or whatever. Yeah, somehow that gives you a little bit of an advantage over someone that's like never done that before. But yeah, mispronouncing letters might be one of the most embarrassing things. Because it's not like a tricky foreign name or anything. It's just letters of the alphabet. B-K-T. Came out B-K-T.